Mic check 1 2 1 2. Okay. YouTube. I'm back, man. I don't even know when that last upload was. That was kind of like a vlog thing I was doing. This is gonna be more of me just going live. I'm posted it on YouTube, and I think I'm gonna start calling this. I don't know if it's a podcast, a show, whatever, but I think I'm gonna try to do this frequently to just vent, because here lately a lot of the barber brothers I have been asking my thoughts and opinions on things, and I feel like why not share them with everybody? So if I had to name it, I was thinking naming it like, this is barbershop talk, meaning it's the stuff we really talk about in the barbershop. In the barbershop culture and the industry. And right now in the industry, I think we had an interesting moment. Cole has brought up the fade is black culture. He's getting a bunch of pushback. And hold on a second. Let's do it like this. Turn on this IG Live. What it do? What it do? Whew. So, back to school week is over. I've been super busy. I did tap in a little bit to give y'all my thoughts. I don't know if y'all following what's going on in the industry, but I do, and I am. So, I want to talk about where we at right now, what I'm looking at. Where we at right now, a couple days ago, Cole Custom Brand, shout out to the homie, man, coming in hot. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to the homie, but Cole Custom Brand made a post about the fade being black culture. Started getting all this pushback, and the overall broader issue is the fact that he's getting some pushback, right? And he did address, and I do agree with the fact that in the real world, it's not much of an issue, right? Boots on the ground, as he called it. When you're moving around, you're going to the shows and expos and stuff. It's not like you getting a bunch of racism right in your face from Spanish folks, right? If you're not following what I'm talking about, you have to go to his post and see that he said the fade is black culture. Very next post, he says the military, high and tight, and black folk made the fade popular. Most folks that was outraged totally missed that and just went on in and continued to go in and continue to go in on the blackness, which is what I'm really talking about, the anti-blackness within the Spanish community. Now, put a pin in that real quick. At the CT Expo, let me tell you about my experience real quick. At the CT Expo, I pull up, I'm outside, I'm having a smoke. John Mosley, Popular Nobody, pulls up on me. I start having a conversation with him about how I wish he would be more visible to the younger black barbers that come to events like the CT Expo, simply because I understand the power of representation, right? And one of the issues that Cole did bring to light was that a lot of younger black barbers don't see themselves represented in the community, in the overall industry at scale, so to speak. And so I was talking to John about just being more visible, being more outside, being at shows on the barber side of things, because he's really busy all the time doing the greatness that he does in the industry. At the same time, I started having this conversation where I was telling him that I had the conversation with DL, also DL Master Barber. Boom, lo and behold, DL Master Barber pulls up. God don't make mistakes, right? We talking to God. I was talking to God as well, but I'm also talking to DL. Now I'm telling him the same thing. Event goes on, boom, Grammys that night. Come to find out, John wins an award, DL wins an award. Shout out to the homie Jack of All Fades. He wins an award. So a bunch of other folks win awards, right? We having this conversation. I'm like, yeah, bro, this is needed. This people need to see this. You know, shout out to Sly Honcho. He's probably one of the younger black influencers that most of the black younger barbers follow, right? As far as representation in the newer wave of influencers. Like, for them, even 360 Jeezy would be kind of OG, right? It's Kevs and the Coldest Clippers and these guys. So that's the experience at the expo. I'm having that conversation with the expo. Now, I'm finna leave the expo. I'm talking to somebody that owns a major brand. He tells me, hey man, somebody told me to look at your page and that you was being racist. I was like, whoa, what? He said, yeah, but I looked on there and I didn't see nothing. I know what this is. I understand the whole pushback that Cole is getting simply because there's a post on my page where I talk about this. It's got like 60,000 views, 70,000 views or something crazy, where I actually opened up a program for kids to be getting free after school tutoring for reading. And because it was black in my black neighborhood where I'm from, it was a pushback. This is free tutoring for kids, and there was pushback. So I know damn well you do something else, you finna get some pushback, right? I understand that concept in general. Anybody that's been active in their community understands that when you do something that is considered black and progressive and you say it's black, there's gonna be a measure of pushback. That's so common, it's not even a thing. It's just very much a thing. It shouldn't be a surprise, is my point. So I explained that to this brand owner that, hey, anytime you do something black and progressive or black and empowering, loud and in the open, for a lot of people, it's going to be an issue. You're going to get some type of pushback. And he looked through my page and he was like, dang, you're right. And I gave him this example. I said, but however, the Spanish homies, right, can get on stage, do get on stage, and if you've been to any expo, you know what I'm talking about. They'll get on stage, of course they speak Spanish, that's their language, and they'll shout out all the Spanish-speaking like culture countries, Boricua, Mexicano, Dominicano, Panama, all of that, right? And the crowd go crazy. Everybody claps, us included, because we clapping for the winners. I don't really know what they're saying, but we all understand that they're representing for their culture. And my point is, nobody has a problem with that, right? So now, let's zoom back in. So we understand that doing something black and that's called black and you're being progressive and loud about the fact that it's black can cause backlash. That's a very common thing. Now, it's the common thing is that this is a conversation that really is had behind closed doors and kind of more openly within the Spanish community, the anti-black sentiment within the Spanish community. The solution to what we're talking about right now, really, that's the problem. So the problem is black folks want to do something progressively in black within the industry, and a small section of Spanish people giving some pushback online that makes it seem like it's this big wave of pushback in person. That's what we're looking at right now, right? So here's the actual solution. That's the problem. Here's the solution. The problem is something so common that the solution really isn't hard to find. We all know the solution really at the end of the day is unity. First of all, black unity. Us understanding that, hey, bro, it's still okay for us to say, hey, this is a black event. That does not exclude anybody, but what it does is identify the people that we're looking to actually have at the event. I don't know why it can't be like that, because if you say Mexican blah, 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 you have literally signs that say Mexican restaurant. But because people don't connect blackness with culture as much as they do Mexican with culture, for some reason, if you you don't even see black restaurant, but you know it's black, right? You know it's a black barbershop. That's a whole nother conversation. So within the solution is black unity, us as the elders that understand what's going on. I'm considering myself an elder at this point. I'm 45 years old, bro. My son is literally in barber school. This whole new wave of influencers are the age of our children. You know what I'm saying? Is understanding that we need to unify and be some sort of representation of higher level of greatness to the younger black people, barbers, to the younger black barbers that want to be educators, right? More than just influencers, more than just on the stage doing nothing, actually giving back in this industry through their experience, which is what we've all been doing, right? Put a pin in that right there. That is not going to be as big as a problem as the people online are trying to make it look like, because we're dealing with our Spanish brothers and sisters, right? Who in real life actually understand cultural pride. So us doing something that is culturally prideful and progressive is not in real life going to be a problem with our Spanish-speaking brothers and sisters. You can look at pretty much any level of the industry. There are now don't get me wrong, there is a look right now to barbers, and I have the look. I know it's a running joke with me and all my friends. I will go somewhere and people will speak to me in Spanish. I understand how I look, right? But if you look at most of the major brands, they have somebody black. And when I say black, I mean brown. I mean like a Brandy, like a Hawk, like a Taylor, like a Kenny Duncan, like John Mosley. Like these brands have black people, right? Bones is black at level 3. DL is now over there at level 3. There's blackness in the industry. And so at the macro level, I've never seen gatekeeping based on race. I don't know if it is or not because I'm not in certain rooms, but I don't see it. But if we're going to talk about certain rooms and if there is gatekeeping, that's going on in a conversation that we ain't even a part of. Now, this is the harsh and hard truth about some of the about the whole thing. Spanish folks do have a different conversation when there ain't no black folks in the room. That's just a fact. Every cultural group pretty much has a different conversation when it's only just them in the room. Y'all can stop me when I'm lying. Put stop in the comments when I'm lying. Exactly. So the conversation that's being had for the people that are even bold enough to say it out publicly, they gonna say it in those rooms. And the homies that are in those rooms that are actually giving access in the industry without restriction, you know what I'm saying, that are actually don't even be on that time, right? Have to check that when it happens in that private conversation. It's pretty much the same thing that has to happen with white folks and racism in those private conversations. That's just a fact. This is a hard fact. We can't get away from the fact that the cultural shift in society right now has a lot of racial tone to it. The barber industry is not going to be exempt from that. We live in society. The barber industry operates within society. Society is in this vibe right now. Y'all already know why. We ain't got to get into the politics of it, but the social climate has definitely become more racialized. And if you think that barbering is going to be exempt in that, you don't really understand how this works. Because anytime the social climate gets a lot more racialized, what happens is black folks tend to be more empowered, more progressive, and more unified. And that is what causes a lot of backlash. Back to the conversation we was having about Cole saying the favors black culture and that black backlash coming. All this is the same circular conversation, bro. It's not a new problem and there is not a new solution. The thing is, are we going to enact that solution? That's it. That's it. I ain't finna even get on here too much longer and just pontificate on it because that was the problem. There's a solution. If you are, this is what it, hold on, one more thing. Yes. Within that solution, shout out to the homie Israel Wright, my mentor Israel Wright, right? Because he tagged me in a post that was already talking about the solution to this situation that we was talking about, which is why I'm tying this all together. He tagged me and a bunch of other brothers in a post that talked about providing mentorship to somebody younger, specific mentorship to somebody younger than you. If you are a booked barber that is what up, legit? You already be on this time. If you are a booked barber that has been a booked barber for more than a decade, you should be menteeing somebody. You have had a mentor, and if you didn't, then you learned it the hard way, out the grit, out the mud, as they say, and you should be mentoring somebody else. That is the way that we keep the quality high. That is the way that we maintain a high standard in the industry on all fronts across all racial lines and cultural standards. That's the only way that we get to do it. That is only effective if those of us that are visible in the industry are operating at a high standard. There are those of us that are visible in the industry. We have to openly support each other, and that has to be accepted culturally okay on both sides, on all fronts, and I don't think it's not going to be accepted. That's just my opinion. And my state of proof, per se, on my opinion is this before I go. If you look at the highest, what we would consider the top level of barber shows would be the CT Expo, right? The sister show, literally, to that show is the Vegas Expo. I won't be able to go this year. I won't be able to go. The sister that runs that is a black woman. Jackie is a black woman that runs the Vegas Expo. Vegas Expo, according by all accounts, was lit last year. Right? Within that, you have her brand, Iced Out. Within that, you have, within there also, you have brands like Ron Uncut, the razor blade guy. Cold Cuts the brand himself, the No Chili Bowl sponge. The people that make the No Chili Bowl sponge, right? For Cold Cuts the brand. The Racket from them brothers, I don't even know their name. I met some brothers this past CT Expo that I've been following that they have a franchise called No Grease. Like there is good, solid representation of black excellence in the industry. I think we that understand that already have these relationships need to do more things like be more visible with each other. That's it. And as we do that, the love that we already have across the lines of cultural lines with your Spanish brothers and sisters is going to remain strong. This idea that the door won't be open for opportunity or the door won't be open for access, I don't see it that way. And maybe it's because of my current experience. But my initial start, yes, was with a black man, Curtis Smith. Shout out to the homie, Exotics. I still use those products right now, 15 years later, right? But the reason I'm outside at shows right now, currently, when y'all see me out in the mix, is my Spanish homies, bro. It's Angel Rawls, it's Chico Boom, it's Danny and Morum. Period. So they're not, and they didn't give me access, bro, because of my look, right? To get on with JRL, I literally put in a resume, a professional headshot, and had references. That's how I came at the homie. That's how I handle business. And I get respected amongst the industry because I handle business like business. I'm cool. We all cool. At this certain level, you only really doing business with people that's cool because, baby, we all got game. We all got experiences. We can all better the situation, further the conversation, do all these things in barbering that push it forward. So let me get on these comments. You absolutely correct. I'm doing above and beyond my part. Putting up 43 years. Absolutely, legit. I already know you're getting busy. Black barbers don't share black barbers' accomplishments like the Spanish community does. I don't know because I can't really, this is gonna sound terrible, but I'm gonna be honest. I can't really think of black barbers' accomplishments, right? And I don't know if the Spanish community operates like we're gonna highlight each other's accomplishments. I guess I would say let's define accomplishments. Bees, let's define accomplishment. I would say, because anytime that I see anybody celebrated, I give it up. Now, especially black folks. Like, if you could go back to my post about CT Expo, man, I'm really actually excited that I saw DL, John Mosley, and Jack of All Fades win something this year. Black representation still means something to me, period. It has value to me. It will always have value to me. I'm black. Like, I don't understand folks that are black that don't think black representation has value. Morning, Fruity. What's happening, bro? But if we define let's just keep accomplishments simple, like winning awards. When they win awards, I see brothers share it all the time. I don't myself see a lack of it. But if you see that, then I would say you'd have to just start with moving it yourself. You just named all those folks, and Cole is high rate. You mentioned in those things in the black lady who run the Vegas show. This is my first time hearing about those things. Okay, so I mentioned all those folks in Cole. That comes from, I know all those folks from actually being outside of shows, bro. Like, the only interaction that I've had in person with Cole, we were booked for a show at the same show in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Shout out to the homie Zay out there. And we judged the barber battle. We held a class. Boom. The black lady who runs the Vegas Expo, I don't know how you don't know. Like, if you know about the CT Expo, I don't know how you don't know about the Vegas Expo. He promotes it just like he promotes CT Expo. She's at CT Expo. I mean, I don't want to just throw the onus back on you and be like, well, you ain't tapped into barber culture, because I don't really know. But I've known about the Vegas Expo for years. So if there's a disconnect, I guess the question is, now that there's a question, not you personally, I'm talking about the black barbers as a whole, it always seems like they're up against one another. Man, I don't know, bro. See, so I haven't had that experience. Now, on a local level, I've had that just because local business. I don't think it was a black on black barber crime issue on a local level. I think it was just competition, and I don't think them gentlemen understood how to have healthy competition. You know what I'm saying? They all came from a kind of dirty macking background. You know what I'm saying? I don't get down like that. That's a whole nother story. But through the industry, I would say this. So to fix the disconnect from barbers like yourself that don't know about certain brands or certain shows or certain these things, certain events, I'll say this. If you start at the top, right? If you start at CT Expo, right? You should be able to see then like who's at the expos. If you could just go to one CT Expo, this is some of the super value of the expo. If you black, period. Just a black experience at the expo. You can go to the expo and you can see whose brands are, I'll say, ambitious enough to buy booths at the expo, and see they set up and see how they things looking and have an opportunity to network in person, have a personal relationship with these people that have these brands. That's how I say it. For me, the doors were open with the Spanish homies, and I still be outside with them. I love these guys. Shout out to the homies. And I've never had my access blocked by anybody. When I see black brands, when I see the Razor, the Raw and Uncut dude, it's always daps and slaps and hugs, bro. That's buddy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know, man. I would say I'm with Cole on the whole situation that I feel like the pushback is technically online. It's really just online from people that are cowards in real life. But those same cowards have that conversation when they think it's a comfortable space, which is why they do it online. They also think it's a comfortable space when it's only just people they think look like them or think like them are in the room. And so if that conversation comes up and you're a person that looks like them but don't think like them, you have to check that conversation. That's just the bottom line solution to this. As we move forward, like my point of talking about Jay and all of them at the top, so to speak, is because I want it understood that I've never seen access blocked at that level due to race. I usually see it blocked due to be like, I don't like the dude. You like Buddy Wag. Bro, you got to understand at a certain point, like I said, we all got game. We all can educate. If you get booked for something, it's because people want to work with you. Don't nobody want to be in a booth with you for 3 days, close confines. We selling products and talking, and we don't really even vibe, bro. Why? Because you popular online? That shit weird. We don't do that. I've been on Orlando Premiere twice. It's more of a Spanish party, but I'm cool with it personally. I've seen it working with each other way more than us, if we're being honest. So this year was my first year going to Premiere, right? Orlando Premiere. And Orlando Premiere is going to be, heavily Spanish because it's Florida. But I saw a couple of brands at Premiere, but I don't see as many black brands at Premiere that I do at CT Expo. And I don't know if that's because Premiere is more of a mainstream event, right? Like, let's always say rappers, barbers looking like hip hop, right? So if barbering is hip hop, I would say CT Expo is more like mainstream VH1, MTV culture, right? Mainstream white culture. And there's a section for barbering. And within that section, that's how it looks over there. I think at places like CT Expo, that is a very barber unified experience. The black representation is higher. First of all, probably because the booths are cheaper, if I'm gonna be honest. But the community is more tight knit. This is more of people that are just barbers. It's not full of like a whole bunch of estheticians and stylists and a bunch of cosmos and all that. And shout out to all of them because I go to all the premieres. I do content for Danny at all the premieres. So I understand what you're saying, but I'm saying that I don't believe that's the right platform to look at to judge barber culture in the way that it's moving. I think starting with CT Expo is a good general way to measure what the barber culture is looking like if you on the ground at the expo, right? Because you do see brown people. You do see plenty of black people. You see black brands. You see the black representation in bigger brands. So that's my challenge to that. I'm going to wrap it up, man. I got stuff to do. Got to get out of here. It's the conversation for the day, man. It's medicine if you take it. What up? I'm glad you came up here. I wanted to talk to you. Let me turn this off. All right. You turn that light on.